Welcome to Hospitality Live with Rupesh. Each week, we feature an industry leader that will share the latest trends and the best strategies to help you grow. Now, welcome your host, Rupesh Patel.
What's up, guys? Somebody messaged me or comment that I am live on LinkedIn. Guys, I think we are. Here we go. Guys, we are live. Let me turn this down real quick. We are live. This is not my office. This is the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. Super excited to be broadcasting live from here. I'm super excited about this episode. Guys, comment. Let us know where you are watching from. And I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm not going to be quiet. I think it's going to be a fun episode where we learn a lot of amazing things. And, as we all continue growing and as we get back into get back to amazing occupancies that I'm hearing from friends, I am seeing that it is, things are coming together. So today's episode is episode number 93. Guys, comment and let me know where you're watching from. I am live, like I said, from the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. And today's featured guest is actually a former executive at the Ritz-Carlton company, hotel company. And now he's an author. He does a lot of things. I'm going to get into it. It is Bart Berkey. Super excited to have him on. Today, you're going to learn how to better communicate, which is always important. Especially me, where I feel like I can always improve on my communication. Plus, you're going to discover how to focus on guests and that experience for your staff, as we go through our labor challenges. And, I think it's a big deal right now where we're trying to keep people going. I actually just received a message from one of my GMs saying, hey, we're having some issues. And so after this call, I'm actually getting on a call with her and trying to figure out the situation that is happening at that property. And I think that's going to be the case this summer. So you're going to learn, not only if you're an economy brand, independent or luxury, you're going to learn some great tips and strategies today. And I'm super excited about that. Guys, comment. All right, so we have people from, let's see where you're from. Guys, comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And we have people from India, Greenville. I'm just going to bring your name up. Yes, it is a beautiful property. We have Pennsylvania in the house. We have the Grand Caymans in the house, North Carolina, Philippines, Orlando, Texas in the house, Texas again in the house. I love it, guys. Comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Egypt, Miami, Philippines, Boston. Oh my God, we have so many people watching live. It is amazing. Today's episode is going to be amazing as we talk about how to provide amazing service. As we get back into the groove of things, we have Boston in the house. We have Minnesota in the house. Good morning from Indonesia. This is amazing. Illinois, Claremont, Toronto. We have Boston or Massachusetts in the house. South Beach. There's a lot of people on. I love this, guys. Welcome all to the show. Super excited to have this conversation with Mr. Bart Berkey, and he's an executive at Ritz-Carlton like this. He knows this hotel, and like I said, we're broadcasting live from the Naples Ritz-Carlton on the beach. If I just turned my should I just do it? Look, if I just turned it this way, you would see that the beach is like right over there. And it's actually two different properties, which they connect and they share a lot of amenities together. And so there's a golf resort and there's a beach resort that we're staying at. And the service here has been amazing. I'm going to talk more about the service a little bit later as we continue the show. Guys, this episode is brought to you by, and somebody put this in the comments, it is brought to you by smartguests.com. Somebody put in www.smartguests.com in the comments right now so it can be clicked, and I want everybody to save that as a bookmark. All right, with over 4,500 plus customers, smartguests.com helps you and your hotel improve its operations, marketing, customer service, guest satisfaction scores that we all need to improve right now. With over 50 tools to drive revenues and turn happy guests into loyal guests, please go to smartguests.com, and they are our sponsor for this week. Thank you so much to Smart Guests. All right, so it is weird that I don't have like 2 or 3 screens that I usually have trying to get my show organized, but it's okay. I'm going to get through it as long as I have your support. Somebody hit the like or love button if you're okay with me like kind of messing up a little bit today. I think it's okay. And every week we talk about a mindset. This week's mindset is amazing. It is, as we all get together and get back into things, we all have to keep training. And this is one thing we talked about this week with our team is that, you know what, we haven't trained in quite some time now. I think this is an opportunity for all of us to get those new people on board with what you're doing at your hotel, what your culture is, what your values are, what all those different things that you drive the success of your hotel with. And I think it's important where, check this video out. So I was walking from my room to the elevator, and this gentleman, he was painting the walls. He was part of the engineering team, and I was like, he started running. I was like, what is he doing running away from me? And this is like maybe like 500 feet away from me, or a couple hundred feet away from me. And he starts running. I'm like, where did he just disappear? I was like, is that like a protocol for Ritz-Carlton where they just hide while they're painting or doing some maintenance? And I don't think it is. I turned the corner where I was getting to my elevator, and this gentleman, Pedro, I'm gonna show you the video. I actually had to record it again. I'm gonna share this on LinkedIn today. I actually was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is exactly what he did. Watch this right now. So I'm walking, and all of a sudden he turns around, and I'm like, what? Where is he going?
My name is Pedro. I have the elevator ready for you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I mean that.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you, Pedro. That's awesome.
I push already looking for you. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Which is amazing. Did you guys get that? So basically, the engineering team, the guy that was working in maintenance, he was painting the walls down the hall, and he saw me, and he went and ran and opened the elevator and pushed it and called it for me, which is awesome. And then he also pushed the elevator going down to the lobby level, which I guess he guessed that I was going there, which is the service that is anticipated when you're talking about a hotel like the Ritz-Carlton here. And it's amazing. And there's been different people all over the property doing the same thing. So this training that we talk about it goes far, and it makes big impressions, and it spread through the world. And I love that he did that. And it was awesome. Have you ever experienced that at a hotel where the maintenance guy or somebody that you don't expect all of a sudden surprises you with something or with nothing, just a nice gesture, which was amazing. And I'm going to remember this. And I actually said, listen, I loved what you just did. Thank you so much. Can you record it for me? So we re-recorded it, but it was awesome. That's exactly what he did. And guys, hit the love button if you are trying to get your entire team on board with something like this too. I think it's important where, if you have somebody going down the elevator, or you see your team sees somebody trying to luggage down a set of stairs or put them into their car, there's an opportunity for all of us to do a little bit extra, that one extra degree to get get that experience that your guests are looking for, especially right now where there's labor. And we're going to talk more about that with Mr. Bart Berkey, but I think it's important. I think it's super powerful when you can make those experiences into something huge. All right, so that's my mindset this week. All right, guys, I am announcing this officially this morning, and I am hosting. Guess what? I'm hosting a live event. Yes, my second live event this year. It is June 30th at the brand new Aloft in Lake Buena Vista, Orlando. I would love for all of you to attend. And this is celebrating this community and let me see if I have it. There it is. The magazine. So I made it on the cover of AHOA magazine this month for June, the technology edition. Thank you so much to AHOA for partnering up. It was awesome to be on the cover and really go through the whole process with them. I wrote an article, which is on page 18. And so we're going to be celebrating this plus just our community here. And so at June 30th at the brand new Aloft, shout out to Southern Hospitality and Nick Shaw for setting that up at the hotel there. Guys, I'm super excited to meet you, really, and to have you guys all join. As long as you feel comfortable joining, it's going to be amazing to see a lot of people connected. So I hope you can join us. That's June 30th, Wednesday, and we're going to do a live that morning, and that evening we'll do a happy hour from, I think it's for like 5 to 8 or something like that. So please, I invite all of you guys. It's free of charge. It's my pleasure. I'm so happy that we're getting back into things. And as you see it around LinkedIn and these different platforms on social media, that events are back, which I am super excited about. And, along with what's happening, there's a lot that changed this week in travel. So here is Sarah with the Hospitality Minute. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dandashy from Ask a Concierge. Every week, I'll be sharing the latest hospitality and travel news and updates in a segment we like to call Hospitality Minutes.
Hey, Sarah, we like to call it the Hospitality Minute, don't we?
Yes, we do. Even though it's more than 1 minute, it's like we're like 3 or 5 sometimes. But
we could go on for like 2-3 hours, I think, or maybe days. And we just talked about like all the stuff that's happening in hospitality. What is actually happening in hospitality? And let me see if I can pull your, while you talk, actually, can you talk?
Are you going to talk and distract while we're doing this? Cool.
I had to reset my Wi-Fi, and it kicked your presentation off. So hang on a second while I pull
All
it up.
right.
But
No,
what's
it's all
going
good.
on? What's going on in hospitality?
Well, I could go ahead and get started if you want.
Sure.
So yeah. So cool. So a couple things happening in hospitality. So obviously, you know, all of us certainly with our hotel background, we certainly know about the big hiring crisis that's happening right now. But you know, guess what? It's not only in our industry; it's actually happening with airlines as well too. Airlines are also having a really hard time with a reduced work staff as things are getting really, really busy. And so it just goes to show you that this is not just something that's happening in hotels, but it really is plaguing so many aspects of the travel industry. Really kind of some of the areas that you've seen it is probably extra long lines at security checkpoints at airports. I don't know if you've traveled recently and seen that. I certainly have. Also, if you tried to call an airline, whether it's Delta, Southwest, United, you name it, there have also been exceptionally long wait times on the phone as well too. So again, it's just to kind of show you we're all kind of in this together as we are getting back into travel, and hopefully we can all learn from each other and get over this sort of hump and get people back on deck, back working again to be able to handle the workload that is there ahead of us. All right, next up, reopening international travel. This is huge, actually. So a recent study from the World Travel and Tourism Council, the WTTC, actually kind of did a report, and they said that if international travel opens before the busy summer season, it could create more than 2 million jobs. And as we know, we also do have people that are looking for jobs, but that would certainly be a big boost, not only for the industry, but also for the economy as well too. So I know that right now there still is this like, okay, how much is opening internationally? What makes sense? But really at the end of the day, that is a reminder that international travel is so much of our business. As the industry as a whole, staycations, domestic travel don't do it justice. They can't quite fill in the gap with international travel. So here's to hoping that, a good amount of the bigger countries can kind of figure out things. And we are already seeing wheels in motion. In fact, actually today, France opens up to American travelers. So steps in the right direction, but hopefully we can kind of get there a little bit sooner. All right. And then the final thing is, I thought this was really cool. I've actually talked about it on my Instagram if you've seen it there, but I think it's super cool. United Airlines wants to bring back supersonic air travel. Do you guys remember the Concorde? By the way, they stopped flying the Concorde in 2003. And now United Airlines is working with a new startup company that's called Boom Supersonic. Love their name. And they're hoping to create supersonic commercial flights. So like the Concorde, but bring that back. We're talking about, imagine you could do a 3.5-hour flight from New York to London, 6 hours from San Francisco to Tokyo. Definitely really excited to see wheels in motion for that. Right now, the game plan is that they'll probably start test flights they'll introduce it in 2025 and test flights in 2026. So I don't think those new flights can get here soon enough. So there you have it. That is it for today's hospitality. 4 minutes, right? I don't know.
Sarah, it is always a pleasure having you on. Where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere online at Ask a Concierge. So, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn at my name, which is Sarah Dandashy. So there you go.
Sarah, would you travel somewhere internationally today or this summer? Are you traveling somewhere?
I am. I'm traveling tomorrow morning. I'm heading up to Central California, and then Utah, and then Vegas. So all of that in the next week. But if it were up to me, if I didn't have that, I would be like, let's go to Paris. Let's go. It's the first day that France is opening up. So why not? But I might have to wait a week. Okay.
Do you think the hotels out there are getting crazy? Like Europe opened up a couple months ago and it just started filling up quickly. And then do you think that's going to happen same to France?
I mean, it's parts of it. So I have a couple of friends of mine actually that are in Italy right now because Italy opened up last week and they were on some of the first flights out there. Truth be told, and watching all of their footage, it's still pretty early. So if you are comfortable going and traveling internationally, which you should be, I have done it. I did it in the middle of the pandemic. You should definitely be comfortable. But if you are comfortable doing it and you want to have this rare opportunity in time that you can see all of these landmarks without millions of tourists, now is the time. So right now, people are still, it's a wave of people hasn't gotten out there. I would think probably by July, it's going to be a zoo, but right now people are still tiptoeing out. So if you are ready to do it, go ahead and take advantage of that. So
Sarah, I think every week we talk about something we should do together.
Well, I know, right? Where are we going to go?
Should we all just go to Paris and like have a good time?
Oh yeah, we should totally go to Paris and have a good time. We should ask everybody, where should we go? Where should we go? We should do a poll, and then we should go where everybody wants us to go.
And can we do a live show from there and finally get to meet each other?
Yes, we can. So long as there's Wi-Fi. That's all we
I'm sure we can find Wi-Fi in Paris. Guys, if you guys are down to go to Paris this week, tomorrow, hit the comments and let us know. Sarah Dandashy, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
Sarah is awesome. Guys, please connect with her at Ask a Concierge. She's on Instagram, YouTube, like pretty much every single social media channel that you can think of. And she has an amazing following. Please follow her there. Thank you, Sarah. All right, so this is episode number, hold on. Let me take this off. All right, this is episode, let me get my show notes real quick so I don't mess up. All right, guys, this is episode number 93. I'm super excited. We're broadcasting live from the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. Beautiful property, setting right on the beach. Amazing team. I shared stories of how I've had some amazing experience with just the entire team really caring and showing that they care and going above and beyond. These are all the things that we talk about in the past, and we continue talking about them as our business gets back in. Our featured guest, as we talk about today's title, is the great return of hotels and hospitality. This is Mr. Bart Berkey. He is he was a former executive at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company, and now he has started his own thing. He's an author. He's a sales team curator, brand marketing. He does a little bit of everything. Please, somebody hit the like button and help me welcome Mr. Bart Berkey. Bart, welcome to the show.
Yeah, no, Rupesh, thank you. And I have to tell you, you're right. I learn from Sarah 60 seconds every single week, and I learn from you at least 30 minutes every single week. So congrats for your loyal following. You have a great community that you've established. You are giving back to so many. So I just wanted to say thank you. And probably more importantly, I love your your live background. Your live background today is stunning.
You know this hotel, don't you?
Yeah, I spent 16 years with Ritz-Carlton, 32 years in the industry. And when the pandemic hit, I decided that it was happening for me, not to me. So I decided to pursue my speaking, my writing, my sales training business full time. But I have some dear friends, not only at that hotel, but at many other Ritz-Carltons across the globe.
Absolutely. You before the show, you said this is one of the busiest Ritz-Carltons in the world. And thank you so much for connecting with the hotel manager here. We're going to meet later on today. But it is amazing to see, even though they're going through a renovation to make this hotel bigger and better, it's busy here. And I love that the team is ready to take on the challenge. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to get your entire team on board, and then how to create that great guest experience as we have a difficult time finding our entire staff to come together and really provide that excellent service. So I want to learn more about your background and how you actually even got into the hotel business.
Yeah, so I followed actually the footsteps of my sister, who went to Penn State, studied hospitality. I decided that it looked like fun. We were going up and we were attending some of the dinners that she was preparing and serving as part of one of her classes. And so I said, you know what, let me give it a whirl. So graduated Penn State, started off with Hyatt Hotels in their internship program. Was with them for 10 years, 4 cities in 7 years. Phenomenal experience. Learned that I wanted to get into sales. Did a couple of convention and visitor bureaus, a couple of startups, started writing 20 years ago. And then Ritz-Carlton for 16 years until August, when I, again, took the early retirement package, just a time for me to focus on something that I had always been passionate about. In spreading the word. Very, not unlike what you're doing, Rupesh. You're still a hotel owner, you're still an entrepreneur, but you're helping to spread the word about positivity. And it's something that it's so close to my heart. It's incredible.
Right. And you have a book out right now, and it's called most people don't, and why you should. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, you know what? And the fun thing is, it's up to your interpretation. But how I look at it, when I was a recruiter, actually for Ritz-Carlton for a while too, I found that the people that did got the jobs, the people that did got the results, the people that did had better work-life balance. So if you're able to do what most people don't do, you're going to get great benefits. And think about follow-up, right, Rupesh? Like you said, okay, I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And not only did you do all of those things, you were a guest on my podcast, and you asked me to attend, and just so many things. You did what you said you were going to do. So imagine if individuals can do everything that they know that they should do and that they say they're going to do. It's going to differentiate not only them and their lives, enrich themselves, but also the people of the lives that they are impacting. And that really became the whole premise of most people don't and why you should. There's, if you're applying for a job, if you're trying to provide service, the example, Rupesh, that you just shared, which I love, Pedro, most organizations, most people don't stop painting, focus everything they can on the guest, you coming down the hallway, go in to hit the button, would learn your name, would then say your name. And here's the craziest thing. And this is a gentleman in engineering that's doing paint work, right? Most people wouldn't do that. So why you should is Pedro, right? He's being broadcast on this example. Pedro, Ritz-Carlton Naples, your at least 47,000 followers will now know more about the Ritz-Carlton Naples and about Pedro. That's brilliant. You're not going to hear, it's not my job. And, I've seen this with other Ritz-Carltons. They will stop running the vacuum when people are coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. It doesn't matter if you're on a phone call or not, but let me stop the vacuum and let me pay attention to you. How can I assist you? And Rupesh, probably the cool thing is that if you run into Pedro again, he's going to remember your name, and he's probably going to remember on what floor that he saw you on. So whether it's 16 or 12 or whatever. So next time, if he sees you in the lobby, he's probably going to hit the level that you need to go to without even asking, right? The anticipation of needs.
Absolutely. And I wish I had this. I wish I actually spent a little bit more time with him to understand. I knew he was busy, to understand his background and kind of understand, like, is this ongoing training? What happens at the Ritz-Carlton that everybody drops what they're doing? Even as I'm walking to breakfast, they stop blowing the parking lot or the walkways. They stop cutting the grass. They stop doing everything, and they focus on you. Like, how does that happen where everybody remembers that?
Yeah. So a couple of different things. One, they're finding the right people. And we know now with the labor shortage in our industry, it's difficult to find the right people. So I have a couple of suggestions perhaps for your listeners and for these listeners to kind of follow through on. The second thing is they're finding the right talent, and then they're training them. And the training is very intensive in a very positive way. Don't give up on training. And I know that that's critical, as Rupesh, you were just saying with your own company. Let's get back to training individuals, share the example, share the expectations. And so one thing, just kind of quickly, I had a conversation the other day with the Senior VP and Managing Director of Edition Hotels, which is part of the Marriott brand of luxury properties. And he said, Bart, we're having difficulty finding people, but we are having success by looking in the non-traditional ways. And I said, well, what does that mean? He said, if we're opening up a hotel, as an example, we will canvass the area. We will go out to restaurants. We'll go out to Home Depot, to Lowe's. We'll go to grocery stores, and we will observe people doing good service, performing good service. They're not on an interview. They don't know that they're being watched. But guess what? Give them a business card and say, hey, look, over at this hotel, the Ritz-Carlton, guess what? We're hiring. At Edition, we're hiring. So look for some non-traditional places to find people, because when people sit down during an interview, they're probably going to say exactly what you want to hear, but find them surprising and delighting customers when they don't think anyone is looking. I just returned something to Kohl's the other day through Amazon. They have a drop-off place. This young lady was amazing, kind and caring and helpful and engaging. I was like, oh my gosh, she'd be perfect for the hospitality world. Now, I'm not saying that we need to steal people from other industries, but maybe we need to borrow some people to help fulfill their passions and come up with our staffing plans.
Yeah, and I think it's important that maybe that person that is amazing, maybe they're not getting the love at that company that they're working for, and this is an opportunity for them to say, "Hey, listen, I just noticed that you just did an amazing job, and I've been watching you. Don't get scared. I've been watching you for the last like 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and I think you're doing an amazing job. You would be the perfect candidate, associate." Ladies and gentlemen, at our hotel, and I love that you can, inspire them. Maybe they were looking for a change, and maybe that you just said they didn't know that, right? And it's an opportunity, and
Yeah.
it never hurts to ask.
Yeah, and Rupesh, I think you just nailed it also, but maybe they're not feeling appreciated or, as engaged in another role. And when I look at the companies and your listeners and the hotels that are listening right now, one, come up with a plan, right? Let your team know that, yes, we're aware that there's a staffing shortage. Help them come up with a solution to the game plan. Come up with referral systems. But then also make sure that you are showing extra love and engagement and appreciation. And yes, I'm saying love, right? To let your ladies and gentlemen, your staff, your associates know that you care about them, know that you're aware of the situation. And you know what? I've been hearing about other companies that are doing things like playing games and incentivizing them and offering them prizes and doing handwritten notes and throwing pizza parties. And even to the point of sending handwritten notes to their family members, because Pedro perhaps might be working, 12-hour shifts 3 days in a row, right? Show appreciation to the family members too. Thank you for letting us borrow your husband, your father, your uncle, your nephew, whatever the case is, because we know we're real busy right now. So if you have a plan, look for untraditional, non-traditional ways of finding people. We'll get through this, right? The great return is upon us. And thank goodness the great return is upon us.
Yeah, thankfully it is. And you see a lot of different hotel people posting, "Hey, I just came back to my position." I love seeing those stories where they're like, "You know what? I was furloughed for a year and a half, and now I'm back, or I'm at this new position. I love it." I feel like it's our job to let people know that hospitality is back and it's a viable career for them. And yeah, I love that we're continuing. So I think we're going to go with this in a two-prong approach. We're going to talk about the guest side first, and then we'll come back to or let's go. Actually, since we're already talking about the associates, let's continue staying with the associates, and then we'll talk about the guest side of how to create this experience. Even if you're not the Ritz-Carlton, right? We want to talk about hotels that are independent, maybe economy brands that I want a few economy brands. I'm okay saying that. And, I think it's an opportunity for all of us to learn some skills and maybe some strategies that we can take back today. And that's kind of my goal, is to always provide something that they can take back today. So what are some things on the guest side or the associate side where they can stay engaged? We already talked about a few of those. What are some other things that we can do?
Yeah. Overly communicate, come up with a plan, with their buy-in, with their input, with their suggestions. I think that those things are really important. Recognize and reward, show appreciation, not only to them, but then also to their family members. And let them know, overly communicate. Let them know that, you're not hiding behind a 3-star award. You're not hiding behind a brand name. You are very aware that there is a challenge with regard to staffing. You're very aware of it. And as long as you recognize it, and that's not saying that's not showing weakness. You're simply saying, I'm aware that there is a staffing challenge. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. Just like pandemic wasn't anyone's fault. We're aware that it is a challenge and we are working together to overcome it. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate you. We engage you. We respect you. You are valuable. And you know what, when you use those words to and this has to be coming from the heart, Rupesh, and you know this because you do this. It has to be coming from the heart. It has to be real and sincere and authentic. And if you think about this, what would you do for your family? You would do anything for your family. Like you would work, double shifts, triple shifts. You would commute, 3 hours each day. You would relocate. You would do everything because you love and appreciate your family. That's the same type of relationship that we want to have with our employees, right? We want them to know that we love and appreciate them, and then that it is reciprocated, and that will work. So Rupesh, then I have a couple ideas from a customer perspective, if I can just jump in.
Yeah, sure.
From a customer perspective, think about if your hotel, your property, your restaurant is undergoing a renovation. What do you have? You have signs that says, pardon the dust, renovation is a must, something along those lines. Well, imagine this. be aware and be transparent with your guests to let them know that, you know what, we are dealing with a staffing shortage. We are doing our best. Overly communicate. Just like if guests are coming to your hotel this weekend and maybe the pool is being renovated and it's going to be closed, you would in advance let people know. I think it's important to overly communicate with your customers too. Be transparent. Not that you're weak, but you are dealing with a situation. You're undergoing a staffing renovation, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
You will do your best. Be patient with us, and we will do our best to help you.
Yeah, and I love that you're saying overly communicate, and I think it's important. I mean, we booked this hotel maybe like a month ago, and a week later, and actually maybe a month and a half ago, and this is prior to them starting their renovation. They just started their renovation a couple weeks ago, and a week after, or maybe a few days after we booked our reservation, I actually got a personal email saying, "Hey, Mr. Patel, we are under just want to let you know we're under renovation, and here's what's being renovated, and here's what's not available." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Let me talk to my family and see if we're okay with it." And guess what? We were okay with the fact that these things that we were not even looking to have as part of our experience, we were okay with, right? And I love that did that. And it would have been a different story if I showed up and the entire property's under construction and I am like, what did I just get myself into? And this is a bad review. This is bad experience. You just lost a loyal guest. All of those things for your brand, I feel like is important. So when you talk about overly communicate, this is like through email, it's through phone call. So I think I got a phone call. I got 2 emails and possibly something else through the app saying, do you know that we're under renovation? Right? We care that you're going to have an amazing experience. And I think that communication is everything. And I continue learning how to communicate better and better. No one's perfect. And so all these little things can help us kind of keep it going as we're trying to make it through. And, you know, a lot of GMs are listening. A lot of GMs are watching right now. And, you know, they've been working a lot of hours and they've been frustrated. What do you say to those folks that are just like, it's been a year and a half. Like I've done everything. I was the only person at my hotel at one point last year, and now we have a team back. But I'm like just struggling because I'm doing all the work that I feel like I can't get over my above water.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard. Know that you can do anything for a year. Most people don't show flexibility. Most people don't show acceptance. Most people don't come up with creative solutions. Most people aren't transparent. If you apply all these things, if you're flexible, if you accept the situation, and probably the most important thing, Rupesh, is most people don't show empathy. If you feel that you are underwater, get out of your own mind and think about what you can do for someone else. What can you do for your associate, for your employee, for your ladies and gentlemen? And when you start thinking about others, that perhaps you're lucky you have a job. Yes, you're working tons of hours, but guess what? You're fortunate. You are blessed. What can I do to help people that are maybe not in the same positive situation that I'm in? Maybe my situation's not ideal, but it will get better. And so I think that's critically important. Get out of your own head, be empathetic, give to others, and know that this is just temporary, right? We are resilient people. There have been ups and downs. You can do it. Think about why you're doing this. Right? If the why is important enough, the how becomes easy. You're doing this for your family. You're doing it for your family at work. You're doing it for your family at home.
Yeah. I always look at when I have issues or temporary challenges, and, most things are temporary challenges, right? How I look at it. And I always look at it like, you know what? I had this past year or 3 years or whatever the term was, I was looking like I was lucky that I didn't have to do this that I'm doing right now for the last 10 years. Right. And so I look at it like I'm fortunate that, hey, I'm ready to take on this challenge for whatever time period it is. Because I've worked the night shift for 6 months, the overnight shift for 6 straight months. It wasn't fun, but you know what? I look back, I'm like, you know what? I'm so fortunate that I got that experience. But then even right now, when I'm going through an issue, I say, listen, I was so lucky that I had the freedom or the flexibility or the success that we've had the past, 6 months or a couple years ago, whatever. So I always look back at those, but then I always project myself into the future. How am I going to feel when this is over? And how am I going to feel at that time? And I kind of put myself in that place. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but that's how I try to.
Rupesh, in a lovely quote that I think you'd appreciate, kites rise highest against the wind, not with it. Right? Pandemic has given us great opportunities. I would not have met you had this pandemic happened. I would not have retired from Ritz-Carlton to do this full time. So the winds, right? Adversity, it's difficult, but guess what? Everyone listening is rising.
Mm.
And I just think that that's a great way to think about it. There are positive things that have come out as a result of this, and business is here.
Yeah, and so with the guests we talked about, like being honest with them, showing them what's actually happening at your hotel, and then over communicating. Now, what else can we do as far as training? Because you've been through this, like you've been
Yeah.
through the whole. It's been a while. Like we just said to our team, it's been a while since we trained our team, and we haven't had time because we've been so short staffed. I think we set time, an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, to get everybody together, see how people are feeling, see what they are struggling with at home, and understanding like what we can do to support each other. And I think that's an opportunity too. So I think we're planning, not I think we're going to be planning here in the next week or so, a meeting where we can sit down and just bring some food together, bring people together, and maybe they have ideas that we never thought about. And I like those ideas where we're not just making up rules, but we're getting the entire team together to make decisions that affect them, really, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
affects all of us.
And don't be too busy to think that training isn't important. Stop right now. Do the training, because business is it's only going to get busier, right? So do it now. If you've not done it already, do it now. Spend the money, take the time, hit the pause button. It's critically important because you need to keep everyone energized and motivated for the long run.
Right. And I love this, guys. If you guys so far love the content, somebody hit the like button and comment that you love this. And Stella says, I love that term, temporary challenges. And I think that's what we've had the last year and a half. Like I've called it, this is temporary. And we knew that the industry is coming back. Like I knew last year in March, I was like, we're coming back, guys. I mean, there's no way they can shut these hotels down forever, right? And so we are seeing, like Sarah said, France is opening back up. We're starting to see this, the rest of the world open up, like maybe like Florida is, like we're pretty much opened up, right? And so I love that opportunity where we can just continue growing. But along with growing is we're going to be going through these challenges of trying to find people, and we've had to do a lot of different things that we didn't do last year or the years past. And I think that's an opportunity for all of us to like continue learning. So the folks that are actually listening right now, you guys are learning something which is growing, and it keeps you motivated. And I'm doing the same. I'm writing down notes. If you see me looking down, I'm writing down notes that I can take back to our team and really take it back to myself, because I feel like, yes, these are temporary challenges, but I think we can keep going as we support each other and as we learn too. So and this is Bart, this has been amazing. The book is Most People Don't, and Why You Should, right? Do you have the copy of the book so people can see it?
Yeah, I have a copy. It's not going to appear the best because of the green screen, but you'll see it. And thank you, Rupesh, for even mentioning it. And the easiest way is to contact me or to find out any more information about what I'm doing, my speaking and training. Mostpeopledon't.com. Very simple. And I'm fortunate I'm the only Bart Berkey in the world, so I'm easy to find on LinkedIn or anywhere else.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I love that we made this connection. And guys, I was on Bart's podcast, and where can people find that?
Well, it's going to be on Apple and Spotify. I have not yet released it just because I will be doing kind of a big reveal with it, because the things that you shared, we get to learn about your background, what makes Rupesh unique and different and so giving. So we will be releasing it probably within the next week and a half, and we will share that. But that podcast is called Most People Don't, But You Do, on Apple and Spotify. And again, you can find the link on my website, mostpeopledon't.com.
Oh, well, Mr. Bart Berkey, it was a pleasure having you on. I'm so excited that we made this connection, and I got to come onto your podcast, and you come onto my show. This is amazing. This is what hospitality is all about. It's really making that connection, and you never know. And I always tell people, this is a small world. This is a small industry. You may not think that you know that person that's your neighbor or somebody across the pond or the world, but there are people that know each other that will really connect you and help you. And that's what we're here for. Like, we're here to help. We're here to get you over that temporary challenge that you're going through, or that mindset that's driving you crazy. Or sometimes I have to wake up myself and say, why am I thinking these negative thoughts, and kick myself in the butt? It happens. It happens to all of us. So I really appreciate the strategies and tips that you shared with us. I think the biggest thing for all of us right now is one thing that I wrote down is over communicate. And I think that's powerful for both your team and your guests that you're here to take care of them, and you're here to kind of grow together. And I love that. So thank you so much for coming on. And guys, please go to mostpeopledon't.com. Please connect with him on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Bart.
Thank you, Rupesh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye. That was amazing, guys. Super excited. This is our last day here at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. Thank you so much to everybody that joined us. This episode is brought to you by smartguests.com. Guys, did you enjoy the show? Comment yes or no, because I know you did enjoy it. That's why you stayed on. But we have somebody amazing on next week. Super excited about that, guys. Don't forget, June 30th, I am doing a live meetup. And by the way, I'm giving away $1,000 June 18th, which is, I think, in about a week or so. I'm giving away $1,000. Go to rupesh.co/contest. Enter with the 3 steps that you can easily take. It'll take you like a minute to do. Enter your name, information, and pick which picture I should pick on the 18th of June. I'm going to pick A, B, or C, or D. And for the next year, I am going to use that profile picture. Thank you so much to utip.money for sponsoring the contest. So excited to partner up with them, guys. If you need a tipping solution where, you know, this is a cashless economy, go to utip.money and you'll be able to create a free account. And this year they're giving this service away for free. So you can get started by getting tips for your hotel and for your entire team as an incentive. Like we're talking about bringing people on. This is an incentive. Like, hey, you're going to get tips easily digitally. So there's not like waiting for it or what happened to my cash, right? I think that's an important I think it's important when we're talking about keeping ourselves going. Guys, thank you so much. Talk to you next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Probably back from my office. Guys, talk to you then. Bye.